All right, you have your upcoming Chapter 1 test, which will be coming up very shortly. So I'm going to go over the test review with you. You have a blank copy, and you will also have a copy of this as soon as this video is published. So let's go ahead and let's get started. First of all, well, the objective is you need to be able to prepare for the upcoming test. All right. Now, as far as Station 1 vocabulary, the three undefined terms of geometry which were discussed on the quiz are the point, the line, and the plane. And those are in no particular order. All right. I will give you the definition for space. Space is a set of all points. And the rest of these you can look up on your own. You can look up in old notes. You can look them up on Google. I don't care, but you can look them up wherever you want. All right. Station 2 is a segment addition postulate. When the segment addition postulate, you simply add one segment to another segment to form an entire segment. So, for example, I have here AB, which I'm going to highlight in red, which has a length of 4x minus 2, plus BC, which I'm going to highlight in blue, which is x plus 10, and that equals the whole thing here, which is 48. All right, so I have 4x minus 2 plus x plus 10 equals 48. So I combine the like terms together. So that gives me 5x plus 8, because I had negative 2 plus 10, it gives me positive 8, equals 48. Subtract the 8, and that gives me 5x equals 40, which when you divide by 5, you get x equals 8. Now, x is just part of it. I need the value of AB, and I need the value of BC. So all I got to do is plug in my x value. So it's going to be 4 times 8 minus 2, which is 30, because 32 minus 2 is 40. And then BC is going to be 8 plus 10, which is 18. So my value there, BC is 18, and AB has a value of 30, which when you add 30 and 18 together, you will get the 48 that you required for AC. All right, now that's an example of the segment addition postulate. What happens when I'm given the midpoint? Now the midpoint, the one-word midpoint changes everything. You don't have to add anything together. You just simply set them equal to each other. So that's what we're going to do right here. So I have AB right there has a value of 4x minus 2. BC has a value of x plus 10. Now, because it says midpoint, I set them equal to each other and I solve for x. On the previous problem, it didn't say midpoint, so that's when I had to add them together, set them equal to that number 48. That's the big difference, is the word midpoint. All right, so from here, I'm going to subtract x. So it's going to be 3x minus 2 equals 10. Add 2. So 3x equals 12. So therefore, x equals 4. All right, x equals 4. But we're not done. We got to plug 4 back in for each of those components. So AB equals 4 times 4 minus 2, which is 16. And BC equals 4 plus 10, which is also 14. And I just got a typo. I was looking at this one when I said 16. It should be 16 minus 2, which is 14. So that's what I like to call it, oops. So let me go ahead and fix that, and I apologize for that. That was totally my doing. Because this here is 14, and that there is 14. Since they're both equal, we are good because midpoint says that they're both equal. So, and I apologize for that mistake. I hope you caught that. I caught that. I'm glad I did, because I would hate to mislead you. All right. Now, for this next one, it says if the measure, now notice it says M. The little m, remember, means measure of. Measure of angle KNL equals 6x minus 4, and the measure of angle LNM is 4x plus 24. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill in this information. I'm going to fill and make this one I'm going to make that 6x minus 4. So 6x minus 4. And then this angle right here is going to be 4x plus 24. I know I'm going to add them together because it doesn't say anything about midpoint. It says what value of x such that the big angle, that would be this green angle right here, is a right angle. Now remember, right angle means it has a measure of 90 degrees. If two or more angles add up to be a right angle, then we say that they are complementary. But in this case, it just says it directly. It says they form a right angle. So I add these two together, set it equal to 90. And when I do that, I get 10x. Then negative 4 plus 24 is going to be plus 20. Then I subtract 20. So 10x equals 70. So x equals 7. And this time, all it asks for is a value of x. So I don't have to do anything else there. I just simply say x equals 7. All right. Now, we'll see how far we get here. Make sure if you see any questions on this or you have any questions, please make sure you email me, and that is the best way to get a hold of me. All right. Now, there are two parts to this here. It says determine the distance and the coordinates of the midpoint of CD, where C has a coordinate of 8, -3, and D has a coordinate of 5, 5. So let's just simply plug in our numbers. This right here is x1, y1, x2, y2. So here I have square root of 5 minus 8 squared plus 5 minus -3. All right, remember, minus negative makes it plus positive, and that's squared. So now I have -3 squared plus 8 squared, which that's going to give us 9. That's going to give us 64. And that's going to equal the square root of 73. You can leave it like that. If you're on a test, you can go ahead and give me the decimal equivalent of that. I would say to the nearest tenths place, but in most cases, it'll pretty much round up to, it'll be a perfect square, such as, well, like the square root of 4, which is 2. It'll be something like that. All right, now, midpoint. Midpoint is x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. Now x1 we know is 8, and x2 is 5 over 2. That's going to be 13 over 2, which is 6.5. And this one, the y's, is going to be -3 plus 5 over 2, which is 2 over 2, which is 1. So it's going to be 5.5. And let me rewrite the 6.5. I'll try to write the 5. There you go. There we go. A little bit better there. So 6.51. All right. Now, I know I've had a couple of you approach me about this next question. What happens when we're given a midpoint and we're given the endpoint? I'm going to show you how to set it up. And then from there, it's just algebra. Okay, first of all, let me write this. A has a coordinate of 5.2, and B has a coordinate of 1.7. Now C, we don't know yet, so we're going to call it x2, y2, because we don't know those coordinates. And let's say x2, y2. All right, now here's how it goes. This is actually, I should write this out, and you may want to do this on your paper. X1, y1, and this is x sub m, y sub m. X sub m means it's an x coordinate of the midpoint, and y sub m equals the y coordinate of the midpoint. Now I'll show you how to set it up, and then I may run out of time, and then I'll have to start it on part 2. Okay, so here's what we know. I know that x sub m, y sub m equals. I'm trying to be as thorough with this as I can. And that'll be x sub 2 Okay. It's basically instead of putting the two endpoints here and dividing by 2 and adding them together, I'm going to replace the midpoint with that. So here's what I'm going to do. I can already bet you, some of you, this is kind of confusing. I completely understand why that is the case. So 1 equals, in this case, x sub 2, which we don't know, and y sub 2, which we don't know either. And then x sub 1 is 5, and then y sub 1 is 2. So basically, I'm taking the two endpoints right here, adding them together, divide by 2 to get the midpoint. Well, I don't know the endpoint, but I do know the midpoint. And then from here, it's just algebra. So I got 2 times 1 equals x sub 2 plus 5. So 2 equals x sub 2 plus 5. Well, you subtract the 5, you get x sub 2 equals -3. So x sub 2 is -3. And do the exact same thing down here. Multiply, so you get 7 times 2 equals y sub 2 plus 2. So 14 equals y sub 2 plus 2. And then subtract the 2, you get 12 equals y sub 2. There you go. All right. I'm going to stop this right now because I'm going to run out of space. So I will come back on in just a moment, and we'll do